Hi, my name is Lauren Tesh. I'm a senior attending Liberty University Online, and my speech is about the sex trafficking of underage girls in the United States. This is not a social problem, but a national crisis. It defies God's laws and values, and doing nothing to stop it is only making these statistics staggering. There is no definite solution yet, but there are some steps we can take to decrease the numbers. This is redemptive because it brings light to a specific problem and raises consciousness to the audience while communicating God's values that are being ignored and demolished. These things God values are human life, sexual purity, our love for others, and our attempts to liberate the wrongly oppressed via speech. According to the Advocates for Human Rights, the federal definition of sex trafficking is the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, or obtaining of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act. Your neighbor, your cousin, the girl whose picture is plastered over the news as missing, even your own child, can be being sold for sex at this very moment. Their cries for help go unheard as they roam the streets at night under the eyes of their pimps trying to make money. If you were to go on Craigslist a few years ago, you would see fronts for prostitution. In a study in Texas, researchers found that 38% of girls in ads for sex were under the age of 18. Just recently, our government banned the use of prostitution via Craigslist. This had been going on for way too long before anyone did anything to stop it. Have you ever watched the show To Catch a Predator? There's no specific type of buyer of the child sex trafficking. That's why many people don't report suspicious behavior. They can't believe their friend, doctor, librarian, even child's teacher could be involved in this kind of thing. The act of sex trafficking is a form of slavery and violates our human rights, as well as the commandments God has given us. Sex trafficking is a nationwide crisis that does not get voiced enough, maybe because the statistics are too shocking. Many people do not think sex trafficking is an issue because they do not realize who is involved or where it can take place. The statistics based on studies and research may be surprising, but this is a real issue in our nation. It is about the devaluation of lives, the degradation of humans, and blatant disrespect for human life and the law. Come on in. Sex trafficking is a nationwide crisis that does not get voiced enough, maybe because the statistics are too shocking. Main point 1. According to the Advocates for Human Rights, the federal definition of sex trafficking, the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, or obtaining of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act. Did you know that 100,000 children estimated to be in the sex trade in the United States each year? The International Labor Organization estimated that at any time there are at least 1.39 million women and children involved in forced commercial sexual servitude, and 56% are underage girls. The Office of Justice Programs of the Minnesota Department of Public Safety estimated that 8,000 to 12,000 people are involved in sex trafficking per day, and 56% of them are engaged in it before the age of 18. The average age of girls involved in sex trafficking is 12 to 14 years old. Main point 2. Many people do not think sex trafficking is an issue because they do not realize who is involved or where it can take place. The majority of buyers are middle and upper class white males. According to the Polaris Project, sex trafficking has been found in a wide variety of venues of the overall sex industry, including residential brothels, hostess clubs, online escort services like Craigslist, fake massage businesses, strip clubs, truck stops, and street prostitution. The Dallas Women's Foundation released a study Thursday that says 250 underage girls are victims of sex trafficking in North Texas, a number that child advocates say will increase exponentially during the Super Bowl. According to the report, about 740 girls are exploited statewide. Underage girls will be brought to Dallas and sold into prostitution during the Super Bowl, says Becky Sykes, President and CEO of the Dallas Women's Foundation. Main point 3. The statistics based on studies and research may be surprising, but this is a real issue in our nation. UNICEF has created the End Trafficking Project in the U.S. fund to raise awareness about sex and child trafficking and urge communities to take meaningful action to help protect their children. The things God values are human life, sexual purity, the love for others, and our attempts to liberate the wrongly oppressed via speech. All of these are being ignored when it comes to sex trafficking. Do you think that's what God wants? This is a nationwide crisis that does not get voiced enough, maybe because the statistics are too shocking. They don't think it's an issue because they do not realize who's involved or where it can take place. And the statistics based on studies and research are surprising, but it's a real issue. It's about the devaluation of lives, the degradation of humans, mainly women and children, and blatant disrespect for human life and for the law. The act of sex trafficking is a form of slavery and violates our human rights, as well as the commandments God has given us. The only way to decrease these statistics and save lives is to increase awareness, educate the community, and urge them to report to authorities anything that looks suspicious. You can report by calling your local FBI office, the National Trafficking Resource Center's toll-free number, or dial 911. Do not hesitate to report it, even if you are unsure. The saying, better safe than sorry, could save an innocent life. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.